we're gonna see the video first for normal, then we will see for abnormal, and then I've put both of them together just to show you the comparison. Okay, so this is a complete flexion range. If you can see, there is concurrent movement of your lower, mid and upper cervical when she's going into extension with no accessory muscle roll seen. There is no activity of your sternocleidomastoid or your scaleni which is seen here. Okay. So as she is going into flexion and extension, there is a good movement happening throughout her upper, mid and lower cervical spine. So this is the lateral view. Now we see it from the posterior view. So she begins at the upper cervical, mid, and then she goes all the way into the lower cervical without compensation from the thoracic spine. And she comes back to neutral. And then she'll go into extension. See the control through which she is going into extension. So this is usually the role when we talk about the global stabilizers, control through the range of motion. She is just not flopping her head behind. So I hope everybody is clear with the normal cervical spine. Now let's have a look at your altered cervical spine. So if we look here, I'm pausing this. What has happened here? You can see the prominence of the C7 vertebrae that happened. When she moved, she directly moves from the lower cervical spine with the shoulders falling into protraction. Okay. Then as she is going up, her control for the head is very low. So if you can see the extensions, it tends to flop. See the activity of your sternocleidomastoid, which was not seen in the previous video. So her sternocleidomastoid is a mobilizer which is overworking here. Again here, see the work. So you have both the sides sternocleidomastoid literally standing out as she's performing the movement. Okay, so just if I am able to play them together. So I'm pausing it here. And I'm going to play this together. So I want you to observe both the normal and the abnormal. Here she begins at your upper cervical, mid and lower. Here there is only movement happening at the lower cervical spine. There is prominence of your C7 vertebrae. Here nothing of this sort is happening. Okay, so when we come to the lateral, so how smoothly she is moving into the lateral for flexion extension, and how difficult and what is the activity level of sternocleidomastoid. You don't see sternocleidomastoid here, you are seeing it all throughout the range. So you will have to observe these basic components when you assess the movement in your cervical spine, whether the person is moving at the upper, mid or lower more. What is it that is compensating more? So she is a typical forward head posture where the upper cervical spine just doesn't move when she goes into flexion. Her every movement is happening at the lower cervical spine. So this is the movement dysfunction that she's got, and we'll need to correct this. Now classically, she doesn't seem to have a mid cervical crease, but most of your forward head posture patients will have a horizontal line here around C3, C4, which is called as a mid cervical crease. upper cervical into extension, lower cervical into flexion. So किसके ऊपर ज्यादा काम प्रेशर आ रहा है? At the mid cervical spine. Mid cervical पे जब ज्यादा प्रेशर आ रहा है तो that is going to collapse because the articular stresses are a lot. So a crease, एक horizontal line अगर हमें दिखती है यहाँ पे, that is an indication, a subclinical indication that the person might eventually land up into mid cervical instability. हमें ये याद रखना है. Plus if you will also see a cervical hump which will form here. Majority of our patients who come to us have that. That is a cervical hump which is formed because of excessive flexion of the lower cervical spine, which indicates your semispinalis is not been working to the optimum. So that is again a clinical indication that you will need to start working on semispinalis muscle.